Welcome everyone. So we have our graduation ceremony with Tom and Tony Bancroft. We're very happy that you were able to come. Thank you so much. And so why don't we now hear from Tom Bancroft.
Hi everybody. I'm Tom Bancroft, and Tony and I both put this little lecture together, and we're kind of calling this New Doorways. And wanted to start with saying this, that most of you are not supposed to be in animation industry, but neither were we. Like most of you, we fell in love with animation, and we didn't have any choice. You know, timing isn't something you can control. So we fell in love with it. It just happened to be at the wrong time. And so I'm going to switch this over to Tony and say, don't let people talk you out of your dreams. That's the key thing. Let's talk about some doors.
You know, we've all heard the old expression, an opportunity knocks, will you open the door? And life presents itself with many opportunities, and there's many doors that we will go through in our lives, in our careers. Those doors and hearing those knocks of opportunity are very, very important. The key to opening your door, though, is confidence. And the only thing that locks your opportunity door is fear. Tom and I want to encourage you to go boldly forward. There was a gentleman that just graduated, Allah, that was just saying that he got an opportunity with Disney. Tom and I were scared as young students coming out of California Institute of the Arts, giving our first opportunity at Disney an internship. And there's that feeling of, I'm not worthy, am I good enough? I mean, look at the great history and tradition of that studio. Can we make it? But that's where your confidence has to lie, even if it's a false confidence at the time. You need to bolster that confidence to go boldly through that door. You'll find in your life that there's no opportunity doors too small either. In fact, it is the small doors that you go through that lead to the bigger doors. Each door you go through will present its own challenges, but the successes in every opportunity that you are given will lead to more opportunity. And I think that's very true.
I remember when I was at Disney, and I'd already been there for maybe 5 years or so, maybe a little bit longer. I'd already worked on Beauty and the Beast, and I'd animated young Simba on The Lion King. I'd worked on Aladdin and done Jafar and Iago, and did some Roger Rabbit shorts, and I got to Pocahontas, and that was going to be the next film that Florida was going to do a section of, but California was still the main unit on that. So I really wanted to kind of up my game and try and work with Glenn Keane. And he was going to be the lead animator of Pocahontas, of course. And so what Glenn had decided was that this was going to be a very tough character to draw. And so he knew that a lot of anatomy and life drawing was going to be involved. So what he did is he did something that has never been done before at Disney, and I don't think ever has since, which is he asked for everybody that wanted to be on his animation unit to submit a portfolio. And so that was very intimidating and really unheard of. And some people, I think, didn't even do it because they kind of felt like, well, I've animated on all these movies. You know, I've already been out of school for years. But Glenn's point was that this isn't just about animation when you're talking about Pocahontas. This was about, I want to see how well you can draw a woman, you know, but also just draw from life, draw figure drawings. And so we literally, for Pocahontas, had to go to life drawing classes for a few months before we even started the film. And we brought in models that had similar figures to Pocahontas. And it was all for those people that wanted to be on the Pocahontas animation unit. It was for us to get a portfolio of life drawings together to show Glenn. And so, again, this to me was a door of opportunity. It was something I had to do to get through that door. So I did. I submitted my portfolio, and I was one of the few animators that was chosen to work with Glenn on Pocahontas, and one of maybe only two in the Florida studio. So that was quite a dream come true. And really, as Tony was saying earlier, that each door that you pass through unlocks the next one, and that could potentially be a bigger door. I really think that my working with Glenn on Pocahontas had a profound effect on me getting the opportunity to be the supervising animator of Mushu. There's going to be times in your career, or even now as a student, when it looks like a door is shutting. And how you handle that, it defines you. So I had a situation when I finally did get that opportunity to work on Mushu. I was asked to be the supervising animator. And as I was on that production, the script was still being written. The character was evolving and changing. We didn't have the voice of Eddie Murphy yet. They were looking at people like Richard Dreyfuss and Joe Pesci. And so it was a very different character at the very beginning. The film evolved, and especially once they added Eddie Murphy as the voice, Mushu started taking over, and he was really becoming a huge character. He was supposed to be kind of a smaller side character at the beginning, and now he was starting to become more of a co-star. And that became very scary to the upper management at Disney, because now they had this brand new supervising animator, Tom Bancroft, handling a very big character. Because we were such a new studio in Florida, we've been working on all these films, but this Mulan was our very first one to be done in Florida. So it was a very green studio, but we tried twice as hard. I mean, and we put so much sweat and love into Milan that I think all of us as a studio rose to that opportunity. And I remember even at one point, the directors called me in. Tom, you gotta bring it on this. Basically, you gotta look at this like if this was done in the 40s, who would animate Mushu? It would be Ward Kimball. You got to give us Ward Kimball level of animation, or if you want to put it in present day, it has to be at least as good as Eric Goldberg did on the Genie. And so, I mean, those two things were thrown out at me very early on. In my case, that made me go, oh my gosh, I'm going to prove it. I'm going to show these guys that I can really bring it, and I'm going to work twice as hard. And I started doing animation tests like crazy and really started to slowly but surely win over the confidence of the upper management. You got to swallow the fear and get confident and really put the work in to be able to show that you can do it. Because you want to be able to leave, and this is what I'm talking about, handling a door that's shutting. If that doesn't work out, and if you do have to walk away from a situation like that where it didn't work out, you gave it your best try, that's what you want to walk away with. I learned from it. This is the key. Take away from that bad situation something. And that might be that you got some good scenes for your portfolio. You got a great new skill. You learn new technology or new software. Walk away with, great connections in the industry, something that is going to benefit you when the next door opens. And it will. I guarantee it. If you keep a good attitude and you looked at the good side of it and got something out of it, you're going to have a brighter future in a year from then.
How things work in animation and how things work in life in general is that there's those doors of opportunity that open, and if you don't have that confidence to go through them, you may miss out on where that door could have led you in life. And sometimes where there's not a door, you have to make one just to get through, to get that next opportunity. I just want to encourage all of you guys, whether you're graduates or even starting in the Anim School, to really take in everything, to grow as an artist, to really push yourself and push your fellow classmates too. I think there's a great collaboration I see already from the chats going on. You guys know each other, you care about each other, you're helping to push each other.
Can you believe that just 5 years ago, this opportunity, you being able to go to Animschool, would have never happened? With the internet and the changes that have happened, now you're able to have professionals teach you, no matter where you live, all around the world, what they've learned. And then you can have a couple dinosaurs like me and Tony come up here and talk to you about the old days. So it's a really exciting time to be in the industry. It's also a scary time because there are layoffs. There's studios that are going under, just like when we started. The exciting thing is that I started telling you about all the horrible things that happened back in 1987 when we first got into animation. But then fast forward, literally the next year, in 1988, Who Framed Roger Rabbit came out that summer. And that reignited the whole torch. Within 3 to 5 years, all the major film studios wanted to start animation departments. And there was a huge boom that lasted a good 10 or 15 years. And so what I want to tell you is whether or not it looks great right now, in some ways that might be a great thing because we got into CalArts when it didn't look like a good time to get a job. But we got trained during that time and were able to come out right when the boom hit. And we were at a perfect spot to be able to then take that opportunity and say, yeah, we're ready to go.
Being the student that you are right now and where you're at, having potential is what will open those doors for you in the beginning. And all of you students I see from the reels show great potential in your work. That's all you need in the beginning, is to have that potential to get through that door, to open that door of opportunity. And then you will prove them that you are that person with great experience and ability too. But all you need is that first door. And that first door is right around the corner. You just have to look for it. But go boldly forward. Be confident in what you do. Look for those doors of opportunity and go through them boldly with confidence. Go ahead.
Happy Animschool graduation.
Congratulations to the graduating classes and for the upcoming ones. Keep going.